Matt Doyle, man, what's going on, my friend?
What's up, brother? Not too much.
Got
How
the
you doing?
local scene on the podcast, man.
It's been a long time since I've been on a podcast.
Yeah, man, I just started doing this and it's starting to take off, so I think this is my niche and we'll see.
I love it. Yeah, I've tossed around the idea for years. We've done, this, that, and the other with it, but nothing ever
Yeah,
stuck. But I'm glad to see it's working out for you. Very cool.
yeah, man. So tell us about yourself. How old are you? Where you from originally? That sort of thing.
I am 30 years old, and I was born right here in Augusta. Born and raised, never left.
Never left. Where'd you go to school?
Never left. So I was homeschooled. I was lived in Evans. Um, but public school was a whole thing for my mom. So never have been to public school, which is probably a good thing because I wasn't the greatest in school. So
No, man. I mean, it explains a lot. You have a lot more open mind than people your age as well.
yeah, that's
Which
that's a lot of what I've been told. When I tell people that, they always act surprised.
Well, I have an opinion about school, and I think we could do without the Department of Education. But a lot of people think I'm crazy. But it is what it is. I'd rather see parents raise their own kids and teach their own kids rather than what the federal people want them to do. Because right now they don't. I think they're confused at what's education is. But we won't get into all that. But So right there, right there in what's that little Shannon? What's that little
Where's that
subdivision
subdivision?
where your parents live?
Where at? Oh, Shadowmore. Yeah,
Scattermore. Yeah, I grew up in that area as well. That's crazy. You
yeah,
lived there your
that's
whole
my
life,
stomping
or
ground. Yeah, we moved into that neighborhood when I was 8 or 9. So I wasn't born there, but yeah, I mean, pretty much my whole life, basically, you could say.
yeah, I would have been gone by then. I would have been. You said 9. I would have been 29.
Yes, sir. It's
That's
been a minute.
crazy, crazy, crazy. So, you are the most avid local supporter of music. So tell me about that. Why you love and passion for music and especially local music?
Man, so I've been telling the same story lately when I get that question. Um, but probably 2014, 2015, me and a group of friends who I was hanging out with at the time, we went to a pizza joint in Evans. Random night, just happened to show up there. We're sitting outside doing whatever. We hear somebody singing around the corner. So, of course, we all go to check it out. And it's Philip Lee
That
playing
that
solo
pizza joint or mellow mushroom?
at Pizza Joint. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
this was the one and only time I ever saw him play, or actually anybody play, I think, at that location. So, it was crazy that we just happened to be there on that night. So, we ended up staying, watching him for like 3 hours, hanging out with him afterwards. Started following him, and that has just spiraled into pretty much everything that I have going on involved with music around here ever
And
since then. That's
you
where it all stemmed from.
you really met a good one first too. Philip Lee he's a great person, man. Just he was
Great person.
an energy to be around. He always smiling, always told you he loved you, never wanted a handshake, always wanted a hug, that sort of guy.
Yeah, no, never shook his hand in his life. Yeah, great guy. And we ended up, obviously, pretty much everybody around here knows me and him got very close. But I feel still like I pretty much owe every relationship that I've built over the years with everybody in the music community, kind of, because like I wasn't involved at that point. I just had my first kid, so I wasn't going out very much and all that. So meeting him, and then he ended up
Philip Lee came
starting
to the
to.
hospital, didn't he?
He did, yeah, he did. He was there whenever Nova was born.
That's the kind of guy he is, man. I'm gonna circle back to the pizza joint because you said that's the only time you've seen somebody play at the pizza joint. Me and Brooks used to play there shit all the time.
And Evans,
Yeah, back
yeah.
in the
So
day.
that's I still talk about that sometimes too, because like I said, I wasn't really active obviously in the scene then. He was really the first person that I'd met that was a
That's
musician around here. And
he introduced me
since
to
that
you
night, he did. Yeah, I
at
remember
Mellow
that. I mean,
Mushroom.
yeah, I remember that. I do remember that. I can't, man. It would take me. I could sit here and talk for hours about everybody that I know that's because of him. I mean, he at that point in time he knew everybody, and he was inviting us out to everything. I mean,
That
he
was
was
a
a he was a
that
staple.
night me and you met. That was a funny night, and I'll never forget it because I was dressed up because I was coming home from the car business, and I stopped in to get a pizza and listen to them guys for about an hour, have a beer or two. But on break, we went out on the porch, and you remember the girl who was on pills or coke or something? She was just blah 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 blah, blah and trying to hug all over him, and
Yeah,
he was like, oh my gosh, and you could tell he was getting upset, and then you could tell she kept on, and she was like, it's peace and love, it's peace and love, and it's energy and this, that, and the other. And Philip said something to the fact, no, with oh no, no, no. She's like positive vibes, positive vibes. Philip said you can't have a positive without a negative. That's called electricity. And I was just
correct.
like, oh damn. And she had no clue what was going on, but he was pissed off about that. But I mean, that happened all the time, man. I mean, he was just that kind of guy. He looked good, he sounded great, young, very talented guy, man. Very talented guy.
Yeah, and I've seen him, and I was talking about this with someone the other day, but I think I've probably seen when he was here. I saw him play. I know what I have documented probably over 200 times.
Oh
And it's
yeah.
funny that you bring up that story, because it was always interesting to see how Philip handled those situations, because some of those things, like you said, they get kind of annoying. You get people like you never know what they're going to do, and it was always funny to see how he handled those situations, because it was always something graceful. Always, there wasn't a mean bone in his body when I knew him, and
Right.
it was so funny how he handled situations like that. Like, he was very good at handling those kind of things, like with fans and people in the crowd and what have you. So that was something that was always interesting to watch with him.
And I never imagined how many times that happens because I've been playing out now 4 years, and drunk people and people that are just on drugs and just acting stupid, and you know try to pick your guitar up and talk to you while you're singing and this, that, and the other. Willie Max was
Yeah,
bad about that. But it's crazy, man. But that brings me to my next question, man. The Family Jam. And that was a Philip Lee thing. And that how did all that get started, man? Tell me a little bit about that.
yeah. So that was another thing, and I think I was talking to Ryan Abel about that a while back, and I think I didn't know this until he kind of dived into some of that. But I guess that was an idea that got started, and you may know more about this than me, but that was an idea that started, I think, at Metro, and then ended up, I don't know the whole story, but it ended up not staying there. Philip took it over, I guess. And if I'm butchering this story, I'm obviously
No,
probably missing details,
I
but
don't know anything about that. In fact, it kind of shocked me that I think they kind of attacked you a little bit after Philip Lee passed about using his name and just
it,
calling it Family Jam, or wasn't there something I thought I saw Ryan on Facebook and
his
everybody.
name, his name was involved in it for a significant amount of time after. he passed, and for me, that was just kind of a dedication thing to him
Right,
because it
right,
was his thing. But yeah, we did end up. There was a little bit of controversy over his name being involved in it due to some things that I still am not really aware of why that became an issue. I didn't push it too hard, but yeah, um, he I ended up taking it over. It's been about going on 7 years now. I think I've been doing it. And it was just one of those things. And I think there's a lot of cool stuff around here. I mean, a lot of friends of ours, friends of mine,
right.
host open mics and do things like that. There's a lot of cool stuff like that around. But like as far as that being what Philip started, I don't think there's been anything like that around here, especially not that stood the test of time like this has. So it's really
Yeah.
cool to be a
And
part of that and
it's
to be
cool
able to
that
carry
you
it on.
yeah, yeah, it's cool that you kept it going because without you keeping it going, it wouldn't have kept going, obviously.
Yeah, yeah, it's been a
Um,
really important thing for me.
and
And
shout
I
out to Brian Brenningham and Southbound for hosting. I mean, for
absolutely,
being
absolutely.
the place that allows you to host it at. So,
Yeah,
um,
yeah, they've been very instrumental in that. It's been very cool.
yeah. Well, not only do you support local music, you actually play the drums in some projects and have played
Yeah,
drums in the projects before. In fact, you played in a band with me called Happy Bones. Tell me a little bit about drumming and why you chose the drums, and you're a damn
yeah.
good
So
drummer, by the way.
I appreciate that, man. I do what I can. It's always good to hear, though. Um, yeah, I came from a somewhat of a musical family. My brother plays several instruments, and he plays guitar. He's a very good guitar player. My parents bought me a guitar and him a guitar when we were both like 10, 11 years old. He stuck with it. I wish I would have, but I got impatient, and
How old is your brother now?
he is 28.
28, and you're 30. What's his name?
Madison.
Madison. That's right. That's right. Um, keep going.
Yeah, so after so the Christmas after that year, my parents bought us a drum kit, and I just immediately like went crazy over that, started learning that. And I think for me it was one of those things like we were trying different things. Like my brother plays banjo, he can play keyboard a little bit, so he's just always been able to pick up on things pretty
Right.
quickly. And that for me was just something I gravitated towards. Like I had a I had a kind of a natural knack for it when I first started doing it, and I liked the fact that it was something I kind of taught myself. I've never had lessons,
Right.
so
Well,
that
I
was just
think
something
either
I
you got the
always.
coordination between your foot and your hands, or you don't, because I don't. I have it in my hands, but not in my feet.
Yeah, and see, I was the exact opposite. So I gravitated right towards that, and that's just kind of been my thing ever since. I've always enjoyed it, and it was something that I put a lot of time into just because I actually did enjoy it a lot. But
Right, right.
yeah, that's pretty much the
Was Happy Bones your first band you played in, first project, or was there?
yes. Yeah, so I played when Philip started. Um, the first time I ever played drums on a stage was actually at Family Jam. Philip and me had been talking, and he didn't know yet that I played drums. And he's like, "Oh,
Right.
dude, yeah, you got to get up there." And he made me pretty much. He was like, "No, you're
Yeah.
going to get up there and play." So,
Yeah, because Family
yeah,
Jam back in the day was like more of just anybody who wanted to get on stage and jam could get on stage and jam. From what I,
yeah, that's
yeah,
yeah, yeah. The way he ran it was. I mean, things were much different back then, so
right.
it's evolved into something a little different. But
But he's a front
yeah,
man, so it worked for him.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean
It
that,
was. Yeah,
Yep,
I mean,
yep,
and you were involved in a lot of those nights years ago, and even
yeah,
right after he passed, like there wasn't anything like it. Like
right.
there wasn't anywhere where people were doing stuff like that at the time.
Yeah, I was old two hands days.
Yeah, oh yeah, I was actually watching some videos of you guys the other day that I took years ago when y'all used to come out and
Yeah,
play when I
man.
first started hosting. Good times.
Yeah, I miss that band, man. I really do. But
I do too. I loved it.
you know, things happen, and it is what it is. But what? What you doing now? Any projects you playing in now besides playing with me every once in a while, which is amazing.
And playing with you is definitely something that I'm planning on putting much more focus into going forward this year, especially. I play with Lee Allen, who you just had on your show. That's a
Yeah,
buddy of
man.
mine. Shout out.
Great
I
artist.
play. I do play with him. We're trying to get some stuff started more so this year. We've played a few shows so far, but he's been doing some studio stuff. Just put his song out. Actually, just dropped today. Um,
Yeah, I know he hit me up about 11 last night. He goes, "Man, I just dropped this secretly." And I was like, "I'm gonna share it." He said, "Okay." It's
yeah,
funny.
Yeah, he texted me this morning, and I just want to say this because I know he's going to hear this. But I've been after that song has been recorded for I don't know how long, and I have been after him, dude. I've been like, you got to put that song out. You got
I
to put that
remember
song out.
that.
Like
I remember that.
everybody that he sends the demo to is like, this song is so good. He's just very critical of himself, which I know a lot of people are. I'm the same way, and he's always like, you think this song is good enough? Should I put it out? And I'm like, yes, let's go.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm
I
very
agree.
excited for him
I
for
agree,
that.
man. That's awesome. Awesome. So tell me, man, what's your favorite thing out right now? It don't have to be local. Your favorite music.
Oh man, I see. I always try to get prepared for that question because I hear it a lot, and no matter how hard I try to get prepared for it, every time somebody actually asks me it, I'm like, oh my god, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I'm the same way, bro. I'm the same way. Like
And
three
I
years
mean
ago,
I've
I
been
could have told you Zach
everywhere.
Bryan, but he just
Yeah,
got old to me, bro. Everything's starting to sound the same, and it gets worse to me. I think his older stuff's a lot better than the newer stuff, but
I
that's an
agree.
opinion,
And
man.
dude,
That's an opinion.
that's the thing too, though, man. Like I agree. I've always been a big fan of his, but when you pump out music as quickly as he does, it has to get to a point eventually where, like,
People
you know,
just
yeah,
stop
and
paying attention.
you're not really evolving your sound. I don't think when you're putting out music as fast as he does. Like you're just
Right.
writing, recording, and then it's just like, yeah.
Saturation.
Um, I'm a really big fan of Red Clay Strays. That's one that comes to mind. I've been into recently. They kind of
They're
exploded
my
out of nowhere.
boys. Yeah, them boys are awesome, bro.
Yeah, I actually got a chance to see them live a couple of months ago, which they're a phenomenal live band. Like they're one of those bands that sound better when you see them than they do on the records.
Yeah, I kind of figured that was the case
Yeah,
because
incredible stuff.
Eddie Vedder was the same way. I don't really like him anymore, but back in the day I used to love Eddie Vedder, and you don't get that, like, you don't know it unless you go see him live. It's like, wow, that's different. But I could hear that in the live records with Red Clay Strays. I could hear that voice. I'm sure it's totally different live than it is listening to
Yeah,
it.
they're incredible live.
Probably probably make the hair on the back of your neck stand up. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, that was one of those shows, that I didn't even know what to say when it was over. I was just like, I expected it to be good, but you never expect it to be, you know, you almost never expect a band to be better live.
Right, right.
Like at least me, like I go see them and I'm like, yeah, how do y'all do that? How do y'all sound better organically? Yeah, they're definitely one of those bands.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Philip was like that.
Mm,
I mean, you
absolutely.
you hear him live, it's totally different than hearing him on a record.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, totally different.
he was a powerhouse.
So tell me, now this is the harder question. What's your
Oh
favorite
no.
local artist or band out right now? And you ain't got to say B Rob because I know I'm not your favorite.
I've all like I've been so involved in so much. I feel like I've gotten to a point, and I was having this conversation with someone. I forgot who it was that asked me, but they were like, "I know you got a lot of friends, so I know it's like if you say one person, someone's gonna get offended or whatever." And I was like, really, truly, the only way I've ever answered that question is like I see so many people around here live. Like I watch so many different people that for me, it's kind of just been like it almost gets to where I naturally break it up into categories. So
I
like if
got you.
someone's like, okay, well, who's your favorite band that plays this kind of stuff or sounds like this, then it becomes like, okay, now I can answer that question
Right, right,
where I'm not just throwing out an answer. I'm telling you like, oh, I love this country band, or I love this rock band, or I love this female vocalist, whatever it
right,
is.
right.
So I don't know if I have one favorite.
That's a
I
good
really don't
answer
like.
because you really
Yeah,
Augusta's scene is so diverse that it's kind of
exactly.
hard to like pick a favorite. Like Woody's so good, Woody and Doug is so good, but then you go over here and you're like, damn, Jonathan Wilson and Michael Bateman pretty damn good too. And then you go
Yeah,
over here and you're like, damn, you got all kind of
and
different stuff going on. It's crazy. Aiken, you know, all kinds of stuff,
and,
man.
and
Will
around here,
McCraney's band is friggin'
oh yeah,
everything he does is crazy.
oh yeah, Will. Yeah, Will. I've seen Will do more different projects around here than probably anybody. I mean, I think everything he touches is gold. I mean, he's one of those guys you can't put in a box. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
you don't know what his next band's going to sound like.
Exactly. But that's a good thing, man. That's a musician, you know.
Oh yeah,
That's a
oh yeah,
creator.
yeah. Absolutely, it's better that way because just keeps things interesting for
Right.
sure.
And then you
Yeah,
got then you got the local cover bands like who do shows like Ryan Abel and stuff like that. I mean, they're great. Very, very talented people in Augusta, man.
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, and again, Ryan, one of those guys too. Like everything that he works on is incredible. Like Going South's been super successful. That's a very cool show. Like
Yep.
all their tribute shows are great. Like, and it's really cool that we. To me, I've always thought that it's really cool that we have people like that, like Beta Me, like Keith Peterson, like Ryan Abel, who can put on like shows like a Going South, but then
Oh
you
yeah.
can still go see them like having fun, just jamming with their friends at an open mic.
Right. Bethany and
Like,
Southside Boys over there doing 311 and stuff like that. Yeah. Good
yes, oh yeah,
stuff.
love Bethany. Yeah, Phil actually introduced me to her as well years and years ago. That was one of the first people I actually met off him. He was like, "Yo, you gotta come see my homegirl. She's playing at such and such," and I was like, "I'll be there." And
Yep,
we've
yep.
yeah, I've known her for a long time. Love her.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Me myself, I've been in all different types of projects. Metal, started a metal band, started Two Hands, which was kind of like a jam rock band, which with some metal flavor, you know.
Yeah, and I know.
Everybody called us dad rock, but I don't care. I mean, I love
Yeah,
Creed. I love
yeah,
Nickelback.
yeah. No, I love
um,
it all.
then Happy Bones, you know, and now I'm doing the solo thing, and I guess you could call it country and soul. I don't even know what you call what I'm doing right now. I'm just playing covers my own way, but it's fun.
That's definitely that's something I always tell people when I talk about playing with you is that like for me I like the fact that it's always going to be different. It's not going to be one type of music. Like you and me will play country and then we'll be playing funk and then we'll be playing, like that's what I like. I like, to
Genuine.
yeah, that was a blast. I posted that video, a little clip that somebody got of us doing Afro Man at your birthday
Ah,
party.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And everybody was like, "Yo, what is this?" I was like, "Dude, I didn't even know we were playing that." He was just like, "Hey, let's play because I got high," and the band was like, "Run it, let's go."
And Justin can play anything, bro. That he's magical.
Yeah,
I mean, Beta
yeah, no,
Me's great. He's amazing guitar player. I love him to death. That's the only guy I've ever taken lessons from besides him and Keith Jenkins. But Justin's young, and Justin can just do nasty things like jam band wise, and he can do
yeah,
like metal, and he can just like it's wild. But
yeah.
I
I've had
mean,
a
he's been
blast
playing
playing with
since he
him.
was like 6.
Yeah, he's good on his feet for sure, and
Yeah,
the few times that we've played together with him, yeah, I really enjoy playing with him.
yeah, he's definitely good with that pedal board
Yeah.
to
Oh
make
yeah, he was.
them sounds.
Yeah, he was killing it the other night. That was a
Yeah,
good time.
yeah, that was a great time, man. I appreciate you doing that, and and playing drums for
Oh,
me. That was awesome.
oh, always, man. Always enjoy playing with you. So what? I can't plug myself because I don't really. I just play. I play whatever pops up. But what do you have coming up?
Um,
Anything?
I got a private trivia party Thursday at Southbound,
Cool.
and then Friday I'm playing Westlake by myself. It's private as well. And then Saturday I'm at Coleman Lake, which is in Midville, and that's always a fun time. It's like an old honky tonk, and they I usually stay there a lot longer than 11 if they're packed, but it just depends. It really depends on it's that time of year, so I don't know. But the weather's nice this week, so it might be
Oh yeah.
nice. So we'll see. I've got some things coming up. I can't really talk about it yet, but
Fair enough.
hopefully 2025 will be real good. This podcast is really something I've been focusing on because I don't know, man. I never thought people have been telling me to do a podcast since like 2017 when I changed my name on Facebook to B Rob and started everybody said this dude's a conspiracy theorist.
Oh
So I
yeah.
started doing that, and so the podcast, everybody told me I should do a podcast, and I didn't. And I'm glad I didn't because they took all my Facebook shit down like 17 times, and it was just a pain in the ass. So I'd hate to have to grow it again. So the timing I think is perfect. Like it's and I didn't want to limit myself to a podcast where I just talked about current events and conspiracy theories. I wanted to talk about local stuff and interview local people. And then when I do, my own stuff, I can talk about that stuff. But it's crazy, man. The world has changed so much since then, man, since 2017. It is what you think, man. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. 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 I mean,
Like,
it's been
and I
wild.
told everybody it was going to change, and people thought I was crazy. It's wild how it's playing out.
Oh yeah. They always do until it's happening in real time, and then they're like,
Yeah. Yeah,
maybe that dude
maybe I
was
should
on
have
to
paid
something.
attention. Yeah.
That that
But
dude might have known what he was talking about.
yeah, I'm not gonna get into that though. Man, I wanna say thank you for being on the show, and we're running about 27 minutes now, so I think that's plenty. But you got anything you got anything you want to tell the people out there in Augusta or the
I
world?
wish I wish I had more here to plug, but I definitely, all my social media is up to date with everything going on, not just my stuff, but I try to, spread everybody's stuff around, share the love. All
That
I
that
got really
is
is
that is one thing about Matt Doyle. He shares your stuff and he's got a big following and he built that from the ground up. And thank you for that, brother. You support everybody. That's a great thing.
absolutely, absolutely love doing it, love being a part of it.
Well, guys, if y'all are not friends with Matt Doyle on social media, check him out. Um, is it Matt Doyle or Matthew Doyle on there now?
Doyle is the music page.
Matthew Doyle's the music page. So y'all check him out. And thanks, Matt, for being on, my man. I
Thank
appreciate
you for
you.
having me.
I love you, little brother, and God bless you and your family. I love your family very much. And man, we'll do this again soon.
Absolutely, brother. Love you too. Appreciate you having me on.
All right. Take it easy, my friend.
Yes, sir.
Hey guys, B Rob here from Food for Thought Podcast. Just wanted to let you know that Food for Thought Podcast is brought to you by the B Rob LLC, B Rob Music, and Barstool Booking. If you want to tip or you want to be a sponsor on the show, please visit the website www.theberob.com. That's TheBerob.com. Thanks, and see you guys soon.